All right, champs. How's everybody doing today? My name is Rich, founder of Product Gym. I'm joined by my two good friends, John, and then I'm also joined by Duru. And today we're going to go ahead and talk about how to build an AI agent that's going to apply to jobs for you, which is pretty much the biggest problem right now that everybody has in getting the job is getting interviews, right? The effort that's required to go out there and actually get the job, I mean, get an interview right now is actually quite massive. Before I go ahead and explain a little bit more about the problem, John and Dewar, you guys want to just go out there and give a quick intro to yourselves and so everybody knows who you guys are.
Ladies first.
Sure.
Oh.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Duru, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. I've been in fintech for the past 8 years, and I've been working on different roles, different teams, and currently working on an investment analytics platform. And while working full time, I also went to grad school and graduated last year with a master's in AI. And that really helped me like understand the difference between academic side of AI and also the practical side of AI. And I was also able to see the gap in education when it comes to like learning how AI works versus like how to make AI work for you. And that really helped me, bring my best performance to work, and also helped me build my personal brand. And today, that's what we're gonna do, like help you do the same. So
Cool, cool. My name's John. I just want to say first, right off the bat, Duru the Guru. I love that comment.
I love it.
Yeah,
That's
that's
so
a
funny.
Lamar.
Okay, so I've been working in tech for 5+ years. I was a product manager, enterprise product manager, based out of Canada, but was in several different companies. I recently broke out of product management and got into AI automations, and I now have my own. I have my own agency, so I have clients and I actually build the automations. So Duru's basically, she's like the AI doctor. She's literally a doctor. She's a PhD in neuroscience, or I'm not sure exactly, but it's one of those. And I'm the practitioner. I'm the one that actually, connects the dots and make this stuff work. So if you have any like really deep intellectual questions, Duru's the one. If you have like technical questions, I'm the one to ask.
Yeah, I kind of like it. I kind of like it. I'm not gonna lie. Uh, good. Okay, so my name is Rich. I'm the founder of Product Gym. So pretty much like if you guys are here, you guys most likely have seen me just post up like massive number of jobs online. And let's go ahead and actually like kind of dive into. Thanks, John. Let's go ahead and kind of dive into the problem right now. Let me share my screen with y'all. Okay, everybody, I'm sure is seeing my screen right now, right? So the biggest problem right now in tech is a bunch of y'all getting laid off. That's a fact. Now, that's like you guys are getting wiped out like wholesale, right? So the question really comes down to like a lot of people have kind of subscribed to this theory that people are no longer hiring for any job out there, and companies are just doubling down on AI. But the truth is, the robots have not taken all the jobs just yet. People are still getting hired because if you're doom scrolling on LinkedIn, you're still seeing a bunch of people say, "Hey, I just started my job at XYZ company." So, what is it that they're doing? Let me go ahead and basically explain to you guys the problem. You guys can literally search for any job right now on LinkedIn, and you guys just click product manager. And what most people do is they go to jobs, okay, and then they'll see like, holy crap, this position here, it was open for 37 minutes and 100 people have already clicked on it. And you're thinking to yourself, how the hell are you going to compete with all that? That just isn't product management. That's pretty much all the jobs across the board. So what should you be doing? Well, nobody's reading these 100 resumes at all. I can tell you this from a recruiting standpoint. They're not reading the resume. And that's causing hiring managers to just basically post up right here. And you're like, they're not reading the resume. No, I got 80 pings right now on Slack from people that I pay, and I still haven't responded to these people yet. And they're waiting for me to say yes or no. If I actually audited everybody's iPhone right now, I'm pretty sure there's some people you guys haven't texted back for weeks. Not because you guys don't care about those people, but just because you guys haven't thought of something to say yet. Okay. So there's a huge, like, it's just like the amount of bandwidth. We've gotten dumber as a people. Like, if you guys saw the ChatGPT brain scan, people are just like, oh, I just can't do it, you know? Like I don't remember how I used to like wake up early, take a shower, pack my lunch, and then just walk 8 blocks to the office in New York. I don't remember this is like massive.
Rich, I gotta say, when you said that we've gone dumber, it sounds like you said that we have a dumber.
We'll try to have. So so what should you be doing? You should be going instead of jobs, you should be looking up posts because that's exactly where all these hiring managers are posting up their jobs. So it's like, hey, Morgan's like, anybody want to join my team? I'm looking to hire an associate VP of product management. Anybody want to join my team? Anybody want to join my team? This is not just for product management. This is for jobs across the board. This lady here posted a day ago. Look at NVIDIA. Like, do you honestly think NVIDIA has any lack for talent right now of people that want to join their company? No, does not, right? But they're getting flooded by all these different resumes. Business analysts, same shit. It's like anyone I know out there that wants to join our amazing team as a business analyst, like, no, because they get a bunch of shit resumes. Well, Rich, can you audit my resume? No, I don't do it for free anymore. But everybody just pops their resume into ChatGPT, so everybody's resume also looks the freaking same. So, in order for you guys to achieve any type of scale right here, you guys have to go out there, source out the roles every single day. John's about to go out there and show you guys the magic. But you have to source out the roles every single day, and you guys got to do two things. Number one is speed to lead. Number two is follow up. So you got to send them a custom LinkedIn blurb. Not, I'm interested in this job because I don't currently have one. So you got to send them a blurb. Or the better thing is, you send them a video of you pitching it so they know you are a real human being. So that's pretty much it. But it requires a lot of work to get that. Mind you, before I let John go ahead and do his little demo, you still need to have a decent looking resume because if and when they do take a look at it, it needs to look the part. Secondly, you still need to have the skills because the better person for the job is still going to get the job. And three, you still need to go ahead and interview. But if we can get you guys more chances up to bat, I think it's actually gonna like I think that's in everybody's interest, right? Because otherwise you just have to go out there and do it manually. So John, without further ado, bro,
Hell yeah.
show
Let's
us
share this screen. Let's
the
get into it, man.
Oppenheimer project.
The
Na, na, na,
Oppenheimer
na, na,
project.
na, 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 na.
But so what we're looking at right now is a bunch of boxes and lines connected to them. We're gonna click a button, it's gonna do something. Yeah. Okay, I'll take a step back. So what we're looking at right now is an n8n flow. This n8n flow basically automates the entire process that Rich just described. So what does it do in particular? I got it written over here. It automates the following tasks. It searches for LinkedIn for posts related to product manager posts each and every day. This is for this demo, it's for product manager, but it could be for any job, and I'll show you how we set that. It sorts and processes all the posts because one of the things that Rich showed is that it returns any post that's related to the keyword product manager. So that could be anybody just talking about like, hey, I got a new product manager job, or hey, I just product managers suck. Screw product managers. Or I think project managers are going to lose their jobs. Or it could be somebody that's like, I'm hiring a product manager job. So how do we sort all of that stuff? Well, we got an AI agent that basically determines the relevance of a product manager on a 5-point Likert scale. And so then from there, anyone that has like any job post. So the person who posted it, we're assuming that they're the hiring manager because 9 out of 10 times they are, or they're related to, or they have connections to the hiring manager. So we're basically saying that, okay, like if this post is indeed a job post, which means it has a score of 3 or higher, then we're going to enrich. We're going to basically look at the person who made the post, and we're going to find out information about that post. Then, based on that, and based on the resume, like your resume, this system also reads your resume. Then we're going to basically come up with a detailed 3-step DM messages. So the first one will be the initial outreach. The second one will be the follow-up. That's if they don't respond. And the third one will be if they still don't respond, then we send the third message. So all of this is automated. You get in a nice spreadsheet and you get all the messages there. So now we're going to go through it. So basically it starts with any workflow, there needs to be a node that executes it. And then it goes and does a bunch of things. So one thing I need to say right off the bat is we don't endorse or condone in any way LinkedIn scraping whatsoever. That goes against LinkedIn terms. But there's hundreds of thousands of people that do it. I'm not joking. I literally did not make up that number. That number was given to me by a provider. I can't say who that provider is, but it was given to me by a provider. Anywho, we are using a provider that gets us this scraping data, and that provider is Unipile. Uh, so I can't say who gave me that information, but yeah. So what we're doing is basically we're doing a get call. We're doing a get call to the provider, and that provider is essentially we have like our account information, whatever, and that's going to give us a response. And you know what? This thing's going to run a bunch of times, and it's going to take a while to run. So I'm going to let it run, and while it runs, I'm going to basically explain everything to you. And a big reason for this is we have, as you can see over here, a system to mimic human behavior. That's there by design. If we, like for example, this step here, the green and the purple, is about scoring and creating the hyper-personalized message. And how this sequence works is it's basically a giant loop. Um, I will actually draw some arrows here to point to this. So I'm talking about this and this. So this is a giant loop. And how the loop works is this thing executes, and then it goes to this thingy, and it goes to this thingy. So if we're doing this loop really, really fast over and over and over again, LinkedIn is not going to like that. So we need to, and it also humans can't do that quickly. So that's why we have this random wait time thingy there. Okay, I'll get rid of these arrows. So the wait time lasts like a minute to 2 minutes. It's random. Sorry, let's just execute the whole thing. Okay, so first thing it does is it calls, and as you can see, it just got a dump of data. So that's the first thing we get back. So as you can see, we're just getting a ton of dump of data. We can just scroll through it real fast. It's a lot. It's going to be about 50 results. So what we do with that dump of data? Well, that dump of data is basically stored into a Sheets. Cool. Let's go take a look at that Sheets. Here it is. Just refreshed. We got all that data. Awesome. Now for each line item here, you can see we already have some information populated in here. Cool. Oh, look at that. As we can see, we got the follow-up messages already just posted in. Look at that. So it's going to keep doing this. See, more information is populated here. It's going to keep doing this just over and over and over and over again. So while we let it do that, we are going to go ahead and I'm going to explain everything in here for you. Let's move this thingy over. So it gets that big response, as we can see here. Next thing it does some sorting. Then it puts it all into the spreadsheet. And how it puts into the spreadsheet, we're connected right here with my Google Sheets accounts. It appends or updates rows, and then it pulls in each of those columns here, and then we do some matching magic. And the matching magic is literally just taking something like this and moving it over. That's how that works, okay? And you can see we got all the other columns here, but we're essentially matching the relevant columns from the data that we get back, and we're put into our spreadsheet here, and we got 50 items to play with there, so 50 rows. And now, as you can see, the next part is, okay, we want to do the LinkedIn post scoring mechanism. to identify job posts versus non-job posts, and the hiring manager enrichment. So this is what an AI agent is. And how it works in n8n is an AI agent has three different connectors at the bottom. First, it has a chat model, so you can use any chat model you want. Here we have OpenAI, and we have 4.1 because it's good and it's cheap. That's why. But you can use other things like Claude is really good at writing. Gemini is good at producing images and videos, for example, and so on and so forth. And there we go. There we go. It's running right now. And we got a memory function too, just because these AIs, they like having a memory. Without a memory, they don't perform as well. So this thingy is always going to have two things. It's always going to have a prompt, which is like the user message, and it's going to usually have a system message. You can define these in different ways, and you can add different types of messages. Like, for example, I can delete this and I can change it from a system message to a different type of message. But for this case, it's going to be that. So as you can see, we get the post content, and as you can see, it populate the post content here. We're looking for a senior product manager to join our team and lead the blah, blah, blah. So this post is indeed a product manager job, but how does the AI determine if this is a product manager job or not? And for some reason, I can't make this bigger, so you're going to have to bear with me here. So we got a prompt, and this is the prompt, the system prompt that the AI pretty much reads. So you're an AI agent evaluating LinkedIn posts to determine how likely they are at hiring posts for product manager roles. For the post, assign a relevance score on 1 to 5, 5 being it explicitly mentions product manager job openings with detailed job requirements and so on. Actually, let me draw some arrows here just to make it easier. So that's score 5, all the way from score 1 being this post is unlikely related to hiring manager. It's completely irrelevant and blah, blah, blah. Cool. So let me get rid of this stuff. Look for stuff like direct hiring signals, specific hiring roles, job requirements, clear call to actions apply here, DME, whatever. For the post, output a relevant score, which it does. And so it gives like an example of what we want. We want two different types of objects here. We want a scoring object with a value, and the value is 1 to 5. We know that because it's stated here. And we want a reasoning object. So let's go ahead and see if it outputs that. It does. So if we go to the schema here, as you can see, we got the score, and then we have in a reason. The post explicitly states that they're hiring a senior product manager in San Francisco. Nice. And details of this role is autonomy and impacts and blah, blah, blah. Cool. So now the next step here is it takes this data, and as you can see, it's going so fast here, but basically it sorts the data and puts into its own little buckets here. So if I go to the schema here, now I have buckets. And so now I can basically play with that data much better. And so now what I do next is like, okay, now I want to look up information on the person, which we're assuming the hiring manager, the person that made the post. That's what this does here. It gets the user profile information. So it feeds in over here. We see we have the API. It feeds in it feeds in their they have like a what's it called, a user ID, a LinkedIn, a very specific LinkedIn user ID. So it feeds that in, which we got back from the API. And as we can see, we got a bunch of information on this person. We see their first name is Pratik, their director product management. They're in Seattle. Nice. Okay, so we got information about the person. Cool. Next step. Now we go into here. Now we do basically a sort. Well, it's not a sort. It's like it's like an if function. So the if function is like, is the score that was generated over here, is it greater than or equal to 3? If it's greater than, we run it through this flow here. And this flow is basically create the hyper personalized DM message, initial follow-up, 1, 2, for the job post. So first thing it does is it gets the resume of the person. This has been running for a while. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at my resume. Here's my resume. This is my actual resume. I left Silver Gold Bowl in 2024, but for demo purposes, I updated it to 2025, just, to make it relevant and make sense for the demo. As you can see, I got my whole resume here. This is a Word doc resume. I just simply uploaded it to this, and that's all that AI needs to plug with this, because as you can see, if I go into here and I look at the system prompt, we pull in a bunch of information. So we pull in the job description, as we can see here. We pull in the hiring manager's first name, as we can see here, their job title, which we can see here, the hiring manager's location. Hey, we got Igor here from Toronto. I'm from Toronto. Cool. I'm not in Toronto right now, but I'm actually very far from Toronto, but different continent actually. But yeah, and then we have the job applications personal history. You can see my entire resume is here. So we're giving it a bunch of information, a bunch of prompts, and then on top of that, we're giving it a system message. And the system message is basically telling the AI, like, you are an AI assistant helping to generate LinkedIn outbound outreach messages to hiring managers. Instructions, generate 3 messages for manual review. These are the requirements for the messages, max 3 characters, blah, blah, blah. Dynamic inputs, take in this information that you can, and you're going to output a message like this, okay? Using initial contact, follow-up 1, follow-up 2. We have a bank of sample messages, as you can see here. So it actually reads this bank of messages. And so it has like an idea of how to basically structure the messages in the best way. So it takes in a lot of inputs, a lot. And as you can see, it outputs the messages, which is really cool. So if we look at the JSON converter, we got the first message here. Hey, I saw your project manager with product manager experience role in Kissimmee, Florida. I've led large scale projects and backlog management. Excited to help your clients drive success. Let's connect. Nice. That's a great first message. I'll zoom in here. Just following up on the opening, my experience with change management, roadmaps, and stakeholder engagement could be a great experience. Hi, final note, I'm very interested in the project manager role in Florida. Oh, role for your Florida client. Are you available anytime? So you see how this is highly specific to both the person, the role, where they're located, and me, like what I personally bring to the table. So imagine you have to do this all yourself. That shit takes time. Pardon my French, but that takes a long time. And then this is the pretty much this thingy here generates a random time. As you can see, it generated 62 seconds. So I think it's between plus or minus whatever of up to 90 seconds. It ends up being like I think it's like 70 to like 120, something like that. So it's a random number between those numbers and then it executes on it. So you can see here, it's executing on 68 seconds. So a minute and 8 seconds, basically. So cool. This thing is just keeps running and running and running and running. And now we can just look at it. So now we know for the given post, cool, we have these scores here. And because it's in a spreadsheet, I can go ahead and I can just sort it by relevance from top to bottom. Why aren't you working? Come on, sort. Clear, sort A to Z. Okay, I guess it doesn't like sorting by numbers, which is annoying, but whatever. I guess it's not sorting at all. I maybe have to refresh it. Stupid thing. Data validation. Yeah. Okay. I guess Google Sheets just doesn't want to work. So sorry guys. I don't know what to tell you. I have it. Whoever here is like an Excel or Sheets wizard, they're probably just watching me right now and being like, "Oh God, this guy." I know, like I don't do this stuff. I just know how to, enable the filters. That's all I know how to do. And there we go. Now for some reason, turn it back on. It's working. Boom. And now I can actually do it. Boom. There we go. Now it's working. See, sometimes you just got to click buttons, turn things on and off, and then it works. That's it. So now I see the AI relevance score here. Cool. I see the reasoning. This post explicitly mentions senior hiring manager. Cool. I see the title, the author's title. So this is the hiring manager. I see where they're located. And let's take a look at some of this. Hi, Sarah. I'm thrilled by the senior product manager role at Planet Leading Constellation Services. My experience in launching 0 to 1 platforms 0 to 1 platforms and cross-team collaboration could help you build your next generation. Now, you're probably wondering where the hell they get 0 to 1 from. Look at this. I led a product from 0 to 1. Nice. And I have another reference here, 0 to 1. Oh, doesn't that make you excited that
We
it just
got we
wrote
got
that?
bottles with your name on it in Seoul, South Korea right now, buddy. I'm not even joking.
Let's go. Let's go. Hi, Sarah. Just one more note. I'm really excited about leading Constellation Services at Planet. I'm eager to bring my product leadership experience to the team. Cool. Why does it think I have leadership experience? Well, it's because I've led products, as you can see here. Led and shipped, led. Cool. That's where that comes from. What about this one here? Hey, Sarah, just one more note. Still really excited about this. Oh, I think I already read that one. Did I read this one? This one here. Is it this? It's this. Okay. Following up on I've shipped two innovative products with diverse teams. One could help Planet empower customers through next level geospatial data. That's cool. So it's probably getting that from somewhere. So let's see where it's getting that from. It's probably getting it from this. This role is exciting, empowering you to da da da. That's talking about satellites. So yeah, that makes sense. You need geo orbit locations for that. Damn, that's really good. It was able to basically take in this information, and it doesn't reference anywhere in here about geospatial data. The AI was smart enough to, think that okay, because it's about satellites and to be geospatial. So that just gives you an idea of how smart this is. It's really smart. So as we can see here, we're at a few of them here. Let me just count how many we got. We're at 5 so far. 5 posts, maybe 4. We're at 7 posts that I can go ahead and to send some messages right now. So let's look on some more. Should I look at some more or should I take some questions? I don't know.
No, I think we showed enough today, Jen. Uh,
Okay.
you
Well,
guys can go out there and
we're at
either figure
50.
out. I think everybody should actually learn how to build that. Like, John, tell us a little bit more about your background. Um, like, when you were a product manager, I mean, were you like a technical product manager or like what was your background before product management?
Well, Rich, I got my resume right here, so
From a
so I'll
professional
just
resume
go.
writer, I could
No, I
like
wrote this. I wrote this myself. I don't know if it's
no, no,
good or
no. I was
not,
like,
but
from my standpoint, resumes can always be fabricated. I'd rather just hear it from you.
well, I
Fabric.
mean, this is true, man. Like this is my background. Like I do have a bit of a technical background, so I did go to community college in Canada. We call it college. You guys in America call it community college, and I did computer systems technology. I basically learned like backend systems and networking and stuff like that. And then afterwards, I went to some crappy school, business school, and got a bachelor's of business with minor in economics. And then I started working. I worked in management consulting, which sucked, put a lot of gray hairs on my head. COVID happened. I realized I hate working in consulting. I'm going to switch. And so I got a job as a business analyst. I basically took,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. That's how I broke into product management. So I started as a business analyst. I got some product management certificate from BrainStation. BrainStation's like the equivalent of, I think, General
I
Assembly
know who
in
they
the United
are.
States. Yeah, you
Yeah.
got General Assembly. BrainStation's like the tech equivalent of that. So
Yeah.
I learned basic, how to identify problems and stuff like that. And then I started working my way up as associate product manager and became product owner and then product manager. And yeah, and as I kept doing this job, like this, when I was at Fabric, I wasn't doing anything technical. When I was at Click to Pay, I was working with the engineering team a lot, and they were making me write system sequence diagrams and stuff like that. And make me write API documentations. Like for example, I wrote docs by click to pay.com. I think this is it. Let's see. Please load. If my memory still works, I don't know. With these days, with ChatGPT making me so dumb, my memory just doesn't work. Hey, my memory works. Look at that. So everything you see here, I pretty much wrote all of this. I even did all the diagrams. I did some integrations. I did the sequence diagram here, literally authored this. I did this zero integration here. So yeah, to answer your question, I started doing more and more and more technical stuff. Like I started defining integrations and stuff like that. And I started to learn how systems worked and stuff like that until I got the job at, what was it? At Silver Gold Bull, I was the only product person on a team of like 25 engineers.
Mhm.
And it was extremely technical. Like these guys, they wanted everything technical, and I was working with the engineers all the time. So yeah, my career just, wasn't technical at all. Like I knew nothing about building an app or building backend automations or what have you. It wasn't until the end of I guess actually it was the beginning of this year is I taught myself n8n automations and I taught myself how to build this stuff. Before I did that, I taught myself how to build like web applications and stuff like that. And now I do this. So that answers your
Got
question.
it. Okay. Let me ask you this then. Like for somebody, let's just say, like I don't have an NA background, right? And I studied history back in college. Um, how long do you think it would take me to learn this?
Depends
Because
on how motivated you are, really,
yeah,
because you can learn everything, like everything that's this is a super custom workflow. This is the first time this workflow has probably ever been built. Probably. Maybe someone else has done it, but only Rich is the expert that knows how to, do this process. He's the one that's selling this process to everybody. So why would anyone else automate this? But there's other things that you can automate. Like for example, there's more simple stuff. Like if you wanted to learn how to do this, you would say, how do I build an AI agent in n8n? So go to YouTube, start with YouTube. And as you can see, there's going to be a ton of people that are just teaching you the basics.
the
Like, see this
bros.
guy, the bros. Yes, he's just teaching you like the most because like when you look at this, like for example, you look at this, you're like, holy shit, tons of boxes, tons of moving parts. There's like loop statements, and you're just brain overload. So like, how do you start? You start with the most basic thing. The most basic thing would be like an agent like this, an agent that just I don't know does something. And there's tons of people that teach you this. Like, see this guy, he's teaching you. See the agent in action here. This is a bit more complicated here, but just watch these tutorials. A lot of these people have the most basic tutorials and they teach you from like end to end. Like, okay, this is how you set up n8n. This is the first thing that you do in n8n. Like you like if for example, if we go to this on this account, I don't have YouTube Premium, but I have it on other accounts. So he's going to talk about it and then he's basically going to explain how to do each of these. So obviously I glanced over everything really fast because you guys want to see the secret sauce and you want to see this working. But if you want to get into the nitty gritties, you're going to do something like this. And so this guy's going to explain like all the different models. In this video, he's explaining DeepSeek. I don't know why he's using DeepSeek. He's explaining how a Docker works. That's how you
Because
store
he's
information.
Chinese, man.
This guy's got a lot of followers. Like, look at that, 265,000. So he's doing something right. And he's using Llama. Who uses Llama? Llama's Facebook's model. I have yet to use Llama, but yeah, I mean, you can use it if you want, whatever. But there's tons. The point is that there's tons of people that do this stuff. This guy, I've seen a bunch of videos. He's really good. Yeah, like almost. There's a lot of things that are probably already built and you can just find it here. Like, for example, how do I generate images and post to Instagram, for example? You can make a business out of this. You can make a business of learning how to do this stuff, making these workflows. Um, Actually, hang on. Always make sure you put in n8n. There we go. See? This guy's pretty good. So this guy's going to teach you how to do it. And the cool thing about a lot of these people are they even give you access to the n8n workflow. So you can get that workflow. So if I click on this, it's going to bring me to, here we go. Here's a workflow, or I don't know. I don't know what this is, but try n8n for free. Okay, that's not it. Free PDF starter kit. Get these automation workflows. There we go. So it's a school community. Some of these school communities, okay, this guy's charging money. You
Hell
can pay
yeah, he should.
is you can pay. I mean, it's actually pretty good to pay the money. But just throwing this out there, there's a lot of communities that are free. I'm in a lot of free communities. I'm in some paid ones, but there's yeah. So yeah, if you really want to pay them, go ahead. Um, yeah,
No, we're
yeah,
not
yeah.
handing out this shit for free either, dude. Hell no. That's mad work.
Or
Uh,
I can teach you how to do it.
yeah, yeah. This is gonna be in our upcoming AI cohort. But I mean, I gave you the flow. I think like I gave you the flow, I think last week, exactly a week ago. And if it seems like everything is wrong, I mean, if you guys have questions, you guys can pop it into the Q&A. But like, I actually have two questions for John here. Like, before I went to sleep out here in Korea, you're like, we got 9 hours. I'm gonna work on it now. So, did this like take like 9 hours of just like you being freaking locked in?
Yeah, something like that.
No,
Dude, I have clients. I got other deliverables, man.
no,
I'm
no, no, no.
busy.
I just wanted to know, like, if you work, like, if like you're pretty much good enough to the point where like, um, I could give you a flow from like a week ago, and that means like a week has passed, and because I don't really remember a conversation that I would have a week ago, but if you really want
Well,
to dialed in.
to clarify something, you didn't give me a flow, you just gave me the problem. And I worked with you on dissecting that problem and the process on how you do it today. And then I took that process and turned it into this.
That's another way of saying it. Okay, so like what, 6 hours?
Something
Probably.
like that. Yeah. A bit more, but yeah.
Jesus. This
Six
was
hours of like full work without breaks, something like that. Yeah. That's what it takes to build this.
this was freaking impressive. Uh, so why n8n and not like a Zapier?
Yeah. Yeah, so Zapier sucks. Zapier's old technology. Don't use it. I call it the legacy brands. Like, for example, another good example of a legacy brand is a Wix. Wix is the website builder. Like, if you're going to make a website, you can use the old school website builders like Wix or WordPress or whatever, or you could use the new ones like Lovable or Bolt.com or V0 or whatever. Don't use the old one, use the new one. So that answers that. So of the new ones, of the new automation builders, there's two main ones. There's this one, n8n, and then there's make.com. Make.com, literally as it sounds, because you make things, is the easier one of the two. It's much easier. Um, but it has a lot less customizations. Like for example, what I just made, you couldn't make this in make.com. Make.com is a lot less capabilities. This is extremely custom. It has a lot of different code. I'm calling specific APIs. I'm handling the API data and filtering it certain ways. Yeah, Make can't do that. So Make can do AI agents like this. Make has built-in connectors. It has a lot of built-in connectors. Like for example, I can type in, I don't know, Instagram. Like it has like an Instagram connecting node, as you can see here. N8n doesn't. N8n has lots of other connecting nodes. Like there's lots. I can type in Docs, Google Docs comes up. A node, a built-in node basically means that, for example, I bring in this node and it just makes it much easier to integrate with whatever that service is. So in this case, it's Google Docs. Sorry, I muted myself. This node just makes it easier. If I didn't have this node, it would be it would take more time to do that integration, but I could still do it on here. Let me go ahead and delete this. Yeah, that answers your question.
Now, this was a 6 hour crack at it, right? Like if we really wanted to get, obviously, I think there's like some room for improvement here. Like if we
Yeah, of course. This is
no,
version
no, no,
one
no,
or
no.
version
I'm not
zero.
trying to mean in a mean way, but like how like um how customizable is it like from here on out? Like can you keep on adding more flows into it? Like
Yeah.
because like the process is constantly like updating, right?
Yeah. Yeah, like for example, this is triggered. There's always a trigger with these flows, and this is triggered by literally me clicking this button, execute workflow, but I can have the trigger start by connecting it to, for example, Telegram and me sending a message, and then it triggers. And then I can get the response. I already have the response here to Telegram, and this is what it would be if we completed it. See your first sheet here. Oh, I forgot to put the link to the sheet. Oops. But whatever. um, yeah, so you could do that. You could have it on a schedule, for example. So it could start on a scheduled trigger, as you can see here, which basically means it can start. You can have this running on a daily basis. So it just runs, it does it, and then you get the prompt on your phone, or sorry, the message from Telegram on your phone being like, it's ready, review your things. So you know right away, like, okay, like I just woke up this day. Now I'm looking at for 24 hours behind me. I'm good to go and be the first one out of everybody to just send those messages like send, 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 send. So we could do that. The next thing we could do is we have all these messages here, right, in the spreadsheet, but right now we're manually, it's like it's not really that much of an effort, but we're just copying and we're going to the person. For example, who's this person? This is Taylor. We're going to Taylor. We're going on LinkedIn. We're searching up Taylor. We're finding, let me make this more simple. We're clicking on the link here, right? We're logging in. We're already going to be logged in. We're connecting with this guy, or we're sending them a DM because we have InMail, so we're just sending them straight DM. We could automate this process. I could automate the sending of a connection request to this guy. I could automate once if I have InMail, then I could just send him the InMail. If I don't have InMail, then I could do something like now that he's accepted the request, I get a webhook response back. A webhook basically means that it's like somebody that's in a room and their sole job is to just listen. To listen for somebody else to tell them that, hey, this Tom guy just accepted the connection request. Now execute this workflow. That's all the webhook does. It's just like, okay, it just sits there and listens indefinitely. It has no life. Its sole job is to listen and take action on if it gets a condition met. Basically, in this case, it'd be Tom accepted the invitation request. Then we could execute another workflow, and that workflow could send the messages, send each message at a time, and then there could be a sequence of the messages being sent. Like for example, the first message is sent. The following day, if we put a wait node is get away. Yeah, there we go. A wait node's this. This could wait for a full day. And if a condition's not met, like the person hasn't responded, then it sends the second message. And then we have another wait mode. And at the end of the second day, if that person hasn't replied, then we automatically send the third message. So we can automate that. We can go a step further. We can make this like, I don't know, the Ferrari of LinkedIn job searching automation, literally. And for all these messages here, we could take these messages and we can, you see, oh, this isn't it. Sorry. These messages here, we could take these messages here and we can convert it into a UGC video of yourself, completely AI generated, of you holding a camera and you talking to the person and just saying this. Hey, Taylor, imagine getting a video of that. Imagine automating that. We could do that 100%. Like all I have to do is basically take this and throw it into Google Gemini Veo and it will do it. Like we could try that right now, actually. Gemini.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
see what this guy's getting
oh.
all excited. Sorry, we don't go to here. We go to, so I'll give you guys a fun little tip. Gemini has two things. It has gemini.google.com and it has Studio. Studio.gemini. I haven't done it on here, but I've done it on other web browsers. Crap, this isn't it. I forget what it is. Let's just search it. Gemini Studio. This is it here. AI Studio. Sorry, it's AI Studio. That's what it is. So we can bring it right into here. We can go to generate model. And as you can see, there's different models here. We can just throw it right into Veo. And yeah, I don't want to do that. Crap, I gotta give it access. Sorry, guys. Let's just go ahead and do it. Okay, cool. Create a video with this script of me saying the following. In UGC style. I am a white man with blue eyes. We could actually get AI to create a description of my body, by the way, or we could even give it other flows that you could run other services that actually regenerates you. I'm not going to do that for the purpose of this demo, but let's just see how it does with this very basic prompt. This is extremely basic prompt, by the way. Oh shit, you also have to change the aspect ratio. And it's only doing Veo 2. The latest one I think is Veo 3, which is much better, but This is the free version that's given us. So yeah, another question.
Yeah, John, like, have you heard of HeyGen, where you can basically clone yourself?
Yeah, so that you could connect to HeyGen and you could automate this whole process with HeyGen. Yeah. But moving being queued. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so you could do anything can connect to HeyGen, it can do all this. Yes. It can also do Runway ML. Runway ML is another really good one at making videos. Failed to prompt. Oh, it was blocked because of safety reasons. Duru, why is there safety concerns here?
Can it be because of like where you're connecting from? Maybe like a different country, and there might be some like different policies.
No, it's not country. Your prompt was blocked due to safety reasons. So why is the prompt blocked?
Let's read the prompt again.
It's I don't know. I just closed it. Sorry.
No worries, John. Dude, this is amazing. No joke. This is absolutely amazing. It's like, oh my man.
Maybe we should take questions from people.
I was actually feeding you those questions.
Oh, okay, sweet.
Yeah. Let me see here.
Stop sharing. White man.
Do you,
You
okay,
you need
so
to be
another question.
descriptive.
Yeah. Another question that we have in the Q&A box. For those of you guys that have questions, please pop it into Q&A. What if you're going for both product, let's just say product owner and product manager? I would probably double down on that question, which is a lot of people are keeping their like multiple titles open just for like to try to get scale. Like, what if I'm going for like program manager and product manager or business analyst and also product manager because I really need a job right now? What would you do in those circumstances?
I would have multiple workflows. And for each workflow, one would be product manager focused. The other workflow would be business analyst. The other workflow would be program manager. And it would still reference, and I'd make multiple versions of my resume. One resume that's like, I would take AI and I'd just feed my resume to AI and say, like, this is my product manager resume, but I just need you to rewrite it for business analyst, for example.
Got it. Another question is how often do you recommend updating your AI agent to stay on top of hiring market?
Mm, you need to just watch it on a regular basis. Like, for example, if the automation fails, like in this case, I wouldn't know that it runs every day, and I wouldn't get that Telegram message, and I would know there's something wrong. And so then I would know to go into LinkedIn. I could also program it so that it sends me a message that even states what the problem is. You can program it that way, and you could just basically find out. Basically, these things just keep running until something changes. Like, for example, Google's API can change, or in this case, we're using ChatGPT. ChatGPT can, let's say in 6 months down the road, ChatGPT has a new model. The model's 5.10, whatever, because they come up with the craziest numbers. Maybe they deprecate 4.1. And if that's the case, and if they deprecate 4.1, well, then the workflow is not going to work. It's going to run an error. So you have to go in there and fix it and switch to the latest model, basically. Save it and then rerun the workflow. That's it.
Got it. Questions in the Q&A box, please. Matei, yo, what up, Matei? Actually, let me bring this guy on here. Uh,
Somebody asked a question about what an API is. That's actually a good question. I'll answer that. API is a programmatic gateway of connecting from one platform or service to another one. Basically, like imagine you have different people and people are in a room and they need to send messages to each other. And so think about the voice of sending of that message, and the API is kind of like the voice. It's like a fast and secure way to send messages back and forth. That's a very simplistic way of putting it, but it's something like that.
thought that question was trolling. Like,
No, that's a good question.
John, you just haven't been doing this like as long as I have, I guess. I was like 8 years into it. If you don't know what API is at this point in the game. No, I was kidding. That's a great question. I was going to get to that. Matei, how's it going, buddy? Matei has a question. What does the cost per run look like, or bulk cost, if you have that, let's just say over the course of like a regular week? What's the cost of this?
Great question. Running ChatGPT is actually really, really cheap. I'm using 4.1. To put this in perspective, I've loaded $5 on it of credits, and I've been using it for my account, my clients' accounts, and for what you just saw there over the last 2, 3 months, and I've burned through $2 and something cents. So really cheap. If you're using Claude, Claude is really expensive. Like for example, Claude is the best at writing. Claude Claude is like maybe on a factor of like 1,000 to 10,000 times more expensive for their 4.0 model. Really expensive, but it's really good. Um, I would only use Claude when you absolutely need to use it. But as you saw in this case, 4.1 from OpenAI was really good. So just use that. But the biggest expense here was that API. That API in particular, Unipile, runs about 50 euros per month. It's a French company, so 50 euros a month. But hey, that 50 euros is saving you like, just think about how much time you're saving per day, per week, per month. Like you would do this manually, like let's say 2 hours, 3 hours per day. That just cuts that 2 to 3 hours per day. And then you factor in like, well, what's my time worth? Yeah. You're saving not just hundreds of dollars, but if you value your time high, you're saving thousands of dollars. That $50 is yeah, it's worth it.
I actually would take a look at it in a different way, is that the amount of time that, somebody asked a question like, what other communities are you in? The opportunity cost is all the jobs that you're missing out on because your competition is willing to outspend you, right?
Yeah.
It's like, while you're thinking about saving like nickels and dimes here, somebody is taking that job away from you.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Um, that's actually like part of the Chinese business doctrine. We outspend the competition. While they're going back and forth, like, we spent $10,000 this month on DoorDash, is like, we want to spend $30,000 a month on DoorDash next week.
Yeah,
Like,
it works.
yeah, it works because they just move like that much faster, right? Um, it's funny, the Americans are the cheap ones now. We're the ones that are just out there like, ah.
And Rich, I know that you've done hiring. You're the hiring expert here, but I've also done hiring for various positions in the past. And us hiring managers, we're biased. And when you post something and the first, like, the first 10 applications come in, and the first person out of those applications that you like, now you're biased towards that person. So speed is the key here, is the freaking key. So like if you're the first one, if you got something like what I just demoed you, and you're the first one to send that message first thing in the morning, and the hiring manager gets that, and the hiring manager likes your message, likes your profile and everything, yeah, the chance of you getting that job, or getting that interview is like probably guaranteed. Getting the job just astronomically increases because of speed.
Yeah,
John, John, Rich, can I jump in with just like an extension of a question I had before?
shoot. What you want
Yeah,
to know?
I don't know, man. I can't see my face, so I forget that I'm actually a part of this right now. But um, John, so having been on the other
Yeah.
side, right, on the hiring side,
Yeah.
I definitely I know what you mean with kind of the first thing you see, you anchor around that. But now that, let's say, maybe we've all had about a year to catch up with what tools are available, what kind of messages would come out of, specifically, I could even tell you, out of GPT 4.1, right? If I was on the hiring side and I saw that, I probably recognize it just from the structure. And I'm curious if you've noticed, at that very cheap rate, um, which is what makes this viable, have you noticed the efficacy of those messages go down, right? Like, have you noticed a change in response from these hiring managers? Have you ever had to go to a better model that's more expensive to make it seem more natural, like human? Or do hiring managers not really care from your
I think
experience?
I think that's a Rich question, but just full disclosure here, guys, like Rich provided me all of these templates here, and all of these templates are the ones that have the emojis. So, in Rich, like, is this what's getting the interviews? Because this is what you provided me. So I don't know. I'm not the expert here.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if like Matei, you are a proud Product Gym alum with 4 offers. So, like, like, why don't you go out there and, you know,
And answer my own question.
I mean, well, let's go out there and actually let's actually
Mm,
have like some factual conversation around this, right? Which is, all right, if you're talking about the people like Dennis here bagging in 30 plus
mm.
product manager interviews like a week. Sean, you're on this call, right? You did 12 plus product manager interviews a week and you landed multiple offers in 45 days. Lawrence, who isn't actually on this call, is like actually he's here with like he had multiple offers in 45 days. The truth of the matter is like, and then let's just scroll down all the way down to like where Mate's at, where he gets like, 4, look at this smiling mother lover right here, 4 product manager offers in 60 days, right? Or like, how are you going to get that Disney job? Let me go ahead there and just spell it for the people here that are thinking about this thing in the absolute wrong way. Okay, this guy here, 10,000 product manager offers. Okay, let me spell it out. It's really simple. The more fucking applications you get, the more fucking interviews you do, and the more fucking interviews you do, the more fucking offers you get. And the more fucking offers you get, they want to just give you a lot more money. That's it. No fucking point. No
And
fucking point in overthinking it, right?
and
Like,
so sending DMs with these
uh,
personalized messages, it works.
well, I mean, like overall, most of the messages there are just like they're very mid and they're just like, I'm interested. I don't have a job. I'm ready to work right now. That's not getting anybody hot enough to want to grab a DocuSign, right? Like, oh shoot, like you need a job in a market where everybody in tech is getting wiped out. Like that doesn't make it hot. Like I want to know if I'm investing in you right now, are you going to be a value add? And the biggest reason why a lot of people are going on to the interview and they're getting completely rejected is because they're coming on to the interview more stressed out than the hiring manager because they don't have a job and they haven't been interviewing. And I'm stressed out. The last thing I want to do is schedule a call with Product Gym to learn how to get a job that I've been doing, right? So the person that's showing up to the interview that's more relaxed, that's more confident, I'm gonna feel like John here, if like I have a bunch of like AI automation specialists that hit me up and they're like, yeah, like I could do this. And they sound like they haven't really done it for that long, or I don't even know. But for whatever reason, I don't feel comfortable moving forward with them. And a big part of that is confidence. There's a bigger chance of me moving forward with you if you're selling anything to me, if you're sounding confident, and if you're looking confident, than if I'm gonna go with somebody else. So it's not about qualification, it's about confidence. So the fact that you're willing to go out there and send me an emoji, or the fact that you're willing to go out there and just send me like a message that's very different from what most people are going to send me, shows me you got volume, shows me you don't care whether or not you get this interview or not, which tells me as a hiring manager I should interview you more. you know like if you're sending me this message right now from El Salvador or like Buenos Aires, Argentina, yo, what up, Rich? um I'm getting ready to go out there and do tapas right here at a new spot, but I thought I'd hit you up because I can automate your outbound sales team. I'm gonna be like, who the fuck is I want to talk to him, versus like, I know it's sad, but it's true. But if you're talking about somebody that's like, yo, I got 14 years of experience building e-learning platforms, like probably the smarter thing for me to do is interview that person. But because you don't seem like you care as much, I'm probably gonna go out there and grab you first, right? Or I'm gonna go out there and talk to that person later. So I think in terms of this, speed to lead, everybody here is in the sales process. Like speed to lead is absolutely key, number one. Number two is like sending out like a really good message. By the time that most people are thinking to themselves, But is that message gonna work? Somebody else has already sent out that message and got that interview, bro. Like you're done. You're cooked. It's over for you, you know? Yeah. And I
Should
think
we
like
should we answer more questions?
I mean that's all the other ones that I had. I mean, but like the last thing is this. Follow up, I would say probably the more practical application uses for this is going to be follow up. I had the entire team do manual follow up for 1 day, all the interviews that they got a rejection from. And it was just like, hey, I interviewed you about a month ago. I don't know if you guys filled the role yet, but I had a really good time talking to you guys, and I worked on a few of the things that I felt I fell short on the interview. We had that process done for just 2 days straight on a Thursday and on a Friday. And we went heads down on it for about an hour and a half on each day. We ended up booking about like 19 interviews, and it was a pretty small group of people. We had 6 offers come out as a result of that. So all of these processes work. It's just Americans are too lazy to do it. So let's just not fight biology anymore and automate the thing. Because like by the time that you're figuring out like should I do it? Does it work? It doesn't work. Or okay, I'm gonna give it a shot, but like you're doing it like day one, day two, day three, day four, day five, day six. Like you're just not, most people aren't built to be that resilient anymore. So um, that was like kind of one application methodology, but I see like if we ran the full scale of like all 26 that we have here, there's really shouldn't be a reason why anybody isn't getting a job like in like 30 days. You know,
I want to answer a question from Teddy. Teddy asked a
oh,
really good question. He said, generally, do you need to use an API provider to get data, or can you create flows to get the data directly from the pages or app without scraping? Great question. So I have n8n flows that can query, for example, a Google page or like a Google Maps page. Now, when you get a Google Maps page, Google's very open of letting you just query a page and get a data dump of thousands of lines of data, and then you can go through a process of basically cleansing that data and making it readable and blah blah blah. When it comes to platforms like LinkedIn, LinkedIn is a closed box. You cannot just call their URL and get a response. They block that 100% blocked. So how do these providers do it? These providers use backdoor solutions. I'm not going to get into the details of it, and neither do I condone this because it's against LinkedIn's rules. But like I said before, there are many providers that do this, and there's hundreds of thousands of people, customers to these providers. So yeah, they're providers and they have a backdoor re-engineered solution for getting it, which is really difficult to build. Another question is, do you have a suggestion for including a video in the DM? Yeah, we already talked about that. Runway ML is pretty good. Hey Jen. I just tried using Veo. It didn't work. It didn't like the prompt for whatever reason. It wasn't ethical, but I know Runway would
hey,
probably work.
uh, yeah. Okay, let me ask you a practical question, John. If
Cool.
people wanted to go out there and get in on this right now, and I imagine since I'm an owner of a boot camp, what would the going you got Doer's eyes glittering like it's Christmas and it's Macy's parade. Like what do you think? I think they got like I think people have like a few options here. If they wanted to go out there and subscribe to this service, like what would you be charging for it?
Yeah, I mean, so right off the bat, like if you are like me and you dream about n8n workflows and all you do is you talk about it like I do, like I literally spent 2 months, 3 months just learning this stuff by myself because I'm crazy and I'm in love with it. I'm crazy. 99 out of 100 people are not like this. So chances are you're not like me. Chances are you're not going to go out there and learn this yourself like I did. You're going to need some help. So we can we're thinking of basically offering a course or tutorials or what have you, or I or other people, probably mostly me, will teach you the basics of n8n, will help you build workflows, will help you take existing workflows. I'll show you how to find workflows on the internet. I'll show you how to find communities of people somebody asked here how I found communities. I find them just because I'm a part of the network. There's so many different ways. You can go on x.com, you can go on YouTube, you can even go on LinkedIn. People on LinkedIn are selling their communities like theschool.com or WAP or what have you. And once you're a part of these communities and you see the different type of workflows out there, and then you see how, yeah, you basically know how to take these workflows and make them work. I've experimented with many different types of workflows. The other day I did an image generation workflow. I taught myself how to use Imagine 4.0. And the first thing I did was I went on YouTube and I said, how do I use Imagine 4.0 to create images? Nobody has done this tutorial yet. I'm actually going to do a YouTube video on this because I'll be the first to do it. And I had to figure it out myself because the client's paying me money to do it. So yeah, I'll teach you all this stuff. That just kind of shows you where I am in terms of competency in this area. I'm not like the top dog, you know, I'm not going to sell myself as a top dog. I'm not mastery, but I'm up there. I'm maybe like 80th percentile of competent, good people in the automation space.
Schedule a call, folks.
Just gotta say the fact that we still got this many people in, you know, well
I mean,
over an hour into the call is awesome, guys.
I guess the opportunity cost is people can keep on doing it manually, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess, yo, John, thank you so much for getting locked in here. But let's just say, for sake of argument, you wanted to go out there and productize that. Like how can people go out there and actually subscribe to that service? Because I imagine there's probably
Yeah.
a population of people that's like, I don't want to learn how to do this. I just give you money and my resume and that shit start running right now.
Yeah, man. Like if you want, I can run this service for you. And I can just give you like a Google Sheets every single day. You just get that Google Sheets and boom, there you go. Good to go, buddy. And you just wake up to this. So we could do that. Or if you want to learn AI automations and start, you know, just because you want to learn it, or maybe you want to sell it, we can teach you that too. So that's another option. Like I sell this. I professionally, this is my full-time gig. I have my own AI automation agency. And yeah, I create and I can teach you how I went through the process of being a full-time product manager in the corporate world, knowing nothing about entrepreneurship, to doing my own marketing, my own contract negotiations, onboarding clients, delivering on actual software, because this is basically software. Then I'm selling them software and actually delivering that software. So I can teach you how I went through that whole process if you're interested as well.
I think that should be an upcoming class. How to set up your own AI automation agency.
Yeah, you could just sell this on the side, you know? You could sell this to some friends or family, or maybe there's that barber down the street, and that barber down the street is still picking up the calls manually. I can teach you how to automate AI calls, which is actually pretty easy to do, to be honest, and really freaking good. Really good. So you can automate like appointment settings, and then you can sell this to that, I don't know, the barber or that salon down the street and sell them for $1,000 setup costs, which will take you like 2 hours to set up at most. And then you can sell them on a maintenance fee, which you can sell them like $100 a month, $200 a month to just make sure it's still working. And you don't really do much, to be honest, with a system like that. It doesn't require much maintenance. Other systems like the one that you just saw requires a bit more maintenance. How do
Yeah,
we connect with you for your learnings? I don't know, Rich. How do they connect with us?
schedule the call. Well, Cynthia, you're already part of the program, but yeah, uh this is actually gonna go out there and be a whole suite of AI, a whole suite of like AI classes that we'll be launching here at Product Gym. And what we do have here in Asia, aside from really good food and martial law, is we do have a very strong marketing engine to promote creators and influencers such as Duru and Jad. And we're doing a very good job of promoting the hell out of these two wildcats right here. Uh, John and Duru are going to be superstars. Yeah, so but I actually don't think I need any more instructors beyond John and Dura at this point. I'm thoroughly, yo, John, this is the Canadian education system is putting Stanford to shame right here, man. Because
Oh, hell no, man.
I've been
Canadian
more
education
impressed
system
with
is
you than
garbo.
some of that top 1%, so-called top 1% talent in the Bay Area. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I've met so many product managers that came out of like Stanford that would be like, the 6 hours is not enough time. It's not enough time, man. I mean, like, oh, okay, champs, everybody. I'm gonna catch up here with John and Duru just a little bit. Everybody, please, please, please schedule a call. And beyond that, our upcoming product management cohort is starting in August. Like, if you don't have an AI background in product management, you're seriously going to be at a wild disadvantage. So please go ahead, schedule the call. We'd love to go out there and talk to you. And everybody give John and Dura just a huge clap for their time, especially John whipping this out. Like, this was Thanksgiving dinner for the White House, man. Shit. This
Yeah,
one
man. Thanks, guys.
would have made President Trump proud.
President Trump's being like, you found a backdoor solution? President Trump would give a sticker of approval all over that. That guy does not like following rules at all.
I got a great deal for Japan and Korea. We're only gonna do 25% tariffs. I love the number 25. They love the number 25.
We love automations. Automations are the best.
Uh,
We don't like LinkedIn. LinkedIn makes automations very, very
Iran says
difficult.
they're on board. They said they couldn't have come up with a better deal themselves, even if they tried. We didn't say yes to a deal, bro. Oh,
LinkedIn said yes to automations. LinkedIn, no, we didn't. It's banned.
it's not, dude. Yeah. Everybody out. This is the part where John Dewar and I talk about how we're gonna print cash.
We're gonna help you guys print cash too, man. Like straight up. That's why we're
I
here.
see a lot of, my gosh, this is like, I feel like Pablo Escobar meeting a German PhD chemist right now. We need to get this guy on a private jet down to Medellin right now. I see so many SDR applications with this. I mean, the screenshot, brother, is one thing. That was like a magazine cover, right? But to see this shit live, we've got partners on the other side that would love.
Yeah, guys, full disclosure, I dropped my link. Well, context what he's talking about. I dropped my LinkedIn link. I've been my marketing has been dropping these pictures of these n8n automations with like 100 different nodes and lines and whatever. And so Rich has never actually seen me do one of these live until today. So that's what he's talking about.
My heart right now, dude. If I had an Apple Watch on right now, it'd freaking explode. I just see that. I see that Stripe account rallying like it's fucking GameStop back in 2020.
Guys, I was gonna tell you, automations is selling like a motherfucker right now. Like
Oh, like the motherfucker right now,
that's
dude.
why I sleep about. That's why like I dream about n8n workflows. I literally dream these workflows, bro. And all I do, like 80% of the words that I talk about on a daily basis talking about n8n workflows and automations. And yeah, that's it, man. We're in a gold rush. So you want to learn this. Trust me. It's a gold rush. This is the new internet. You have to know this.
Dude, we're about to roll out the red carpet for you in freaking Korea, like you're Kanye West coming in August.
As long as there's some Korean fried chicken, I'll be happy.
We'll have it for you on the flight when you land.
And somebody dressed up as the Gangnam Style, and then when I arrive there, that'll be lit. I'll be very happy.
Won't be the last time somebody dresses up.
God damn.
Dude, let's go. Let's go. All right. No, seriously, Chad.